And we are live. What is going on, everybody? Sports card world. Actually fell asleep about 30 minutes ago.
Oh, speaking of falling asleep, she fell asleep waiting for you to get here.
Daisy's passed out.
So there's Daisy. I tried to get her to come up here and sit on my lap, but she's not looking like she's feeling up to it.
It's hilarious. Can you guys see comments?
I can.
Yeah.
I cannot see them.
Affirmative.
That's a first.
I mean,
That's
some
gonna
would
hurt
argue you don't see
running
them
through
and
the
you do
chat.
see them. So
Well, it's going to make it tough for me to pull them up if I can't see them. Interesting.
Hold on.
did you make sure you're not clicked on private chat and you're clicked on comments?
No, yeah, I'm on the comments. Oh, there we go. Now I see a few. I just saw like 4 pop
I
through.
see him. Yeah. I got
Okay.
Buzzfly B, Nunya, Jeff Becker,
Yeah, okay.
Road of Collectibles. I feel like those are all new names.
Nah,
Someone,
just been around
at least.
forever.
Is this
And every time Ham types something, it comes up 3 times.
We don't know why.
Every time.
So I'm going to put you far behind in chat, Dustin.
Strong
Okay.
start. Steve, I'm surprised you showed up after I whooped your ass by 60 fantasy points.
Yeah, I
yesterday.
didn't even check the final score. Like I don't want to say I set my lineup every week, but in the YouTube league, my team is just I mean, I guess they're the definition of boom or bust. They're either really, really good or really, really bad. There's no in between with my team. So the week before they blew up and I won, and then this week they didn't do anything and I lost. And it's crazy because I have 4 teams, and this league is the only one that I drafted somewhat differently than the other 3 teams. And the other 3 teams, I'm like either second or first in all those leagues, like on 4 or 5 game winning streaks. Yeah, I had a bad draft. That's what it boils down to. It hasn't been injuries. I'm not going to make excuses. It hasn't been bad luck. It's not like I'm scoring second highest against the first highest. I just had a poor draft.
I like that you're just coming out and owning it, Steve. Good for you.
It happens.
Yeah, Dustin was in denial all year last year.
I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. as my number 1 wide receiver just hasn't done anything for me. And my team tends to go the way of him. Like I said, boom or bust. So when he has his really good weeks, I win. And when he has his really bad weeks, I lose. And it's just kind of how it is.
Something's up with the chat for me. I'm still on the same messages and haven't seen anything else. This is weird. Hold on. Let me check.
There was a warning message on StreamYard that shit was acting weird tonight.
Oh, was there?
Yeah. It didn't say chat specifically, but there was some other stuff that there was like, we're investigating, blah, 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 blah. So some stuff might be a little wonky.
Okay. Weird. Yeah, I pulled it up on my phone. I see a couple more that I don't see here online. Weird. Dustin,
So-
excuses.
Grim77, I'm going to somewhat agree and disagree with you. He said the drafts are overrated. The drafts are overrated once you get out of like round 3/4, because you are right, because you do add a lot of people from waivers and stuff throughout the season. But if you bust on like 2 of your 3 first round picks, because those are supposed to be the people that are going to be your bread and butter, and then you just kind of add to improve your team throughout the season and stream players and play the matchups and such. But if 2 or 3 of your first 3 round picks are busts, you're pretty much dead in the water in fantasy football.
Speaking of the Browns, we're next weekend. Me and the family are going to the Superdome to watch the Saints versus the Browns. Battle of the Titans. Battle of the Titans.
What actually thought about this
Kittens.
earlier today. Would you rather have the Browns' current football situation or the Saints' current football situation?
This is going to sound strange, but I'm kind of enjoying the Saints' current situation, because the thing that's worse than what's happening now, like we've gone full rebuild now, fired the coach, traded away Lattimore. Now we're in absolute full rebuild and hopefully rebounding. But what I was worried about is we keep Dennis Allen all season. We don't really change anything. And then we kind of go through the motions like usual. We need a full reset. We're like 70 million down on the salary cap. Like we need next year we're going to field like all rookies and Alvin Kamara. That's it.
I mean, I guess if I was a Browns or a Saints fan, I would say the Browns had higher expectations. So as a Saints fan right now, if your team is struggling a little bit, I don't know if you really expected your team to be really, really – I mean, if you're a Saints fan, you always hope. But what were really your high, how high were your expectations as opposed to the Browns? And plus the Browns are locked into that Deshaun Watson situation. I mean, that there is like the hugest kicker because the Browns are actually not a bad team if they had a good quarterback, right? That team is kind of like set to win. They had some injuries on their offensive line, but those guys are coming back. Their defense has been solid. I just feel like they haven't had quarterback play. And they have most of their money is tied into their quarterback, and that's where they're getting the least production from.
I'm more talking about like not necessarily expectations, but just like both teams are going to about to go through like a nasty, ugly rebuild. Like, which situation would you rather? Which rebuild would you rather? If you were playing Madden from today in franchise mode and you had to rebuild the squad, like which one are you taking?
And the Saints never draft a quarterback. Like we don't we rarely have like a top 5 pick, and we very rarely are drafting a QB. We've had Derek Carr, we've had Jameis. We always go kind of the veteran route. We had Andy Dalton, then we had Breeze for 15 years. It's been a long time. I'm just trying to think of when we drafted a QB round 1, and I cannot think of it. I don't know if we ever have. I'd have to look back at it. I'm not sure if we've ever done it. Maybe Archie Manning. I think Archie Manning might be the last time. And I'm kind of ready to just roll the dice on one of these dudes, Quinn Ewers or whoever it's going to be.
I was going to say, is this even a good quarterback class this year?
It's not, but it's kind of like one of those things. It's like
y'all are waiting for the next Manning. You're waiting for Arch,
dude. Yeah, absolutely.
Years out.
You're out. Don't win a game next season, and let's go Arch, first overall pick.
Because I don't want to cut us off, but I just want to shout out Mike's Card Museum. He's in the chat, and he said, hello, my favorite people.
Yeah.
Love you all. And Mike is way back all the way to 2020 when I started my channel, before I even started my channel, and he was on my Facebook page. So I just want to say, hey, Mike, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, shout out to Mike for sure. The first time I ever met Steve digitally was when we did like that break that you like the personal break.
Oh yeah, on the Facebook page when I was doing personal like little breaks and stuff.
And Mike was in there too. There was 10 of us.
Hey, but you know about my breaks, when I was doing small breaks, you were guaranteed to win. Remember we had the little casino, we would roll the dice because I actually put singles in with the packs, and you could get like singles at least to pay your money back for what you bought in for it. And they were small, like little breaks.
Yeah.
So are you telling me you bought into a break before? The internet has told me that you don't know anything about breaks and that you don't participate in the hobby.
That was the first and the last time that I bought into a $25 Flippin' Steve break in 2020. And you know what's sad is that should have led to more of that because I had such a great time doing it. But that was like, it was like a personal break that we were all like hanging out and having fun doing. But like, can't imagine getting on there with all of the damn duck races and all the bullshit. On like it's morphed into like a carnival.
Yeah, it was funny because that's when nobody could get product, and I happened to run into some product in my Walmart, and it wasn't even like I'm going to buy this product and try to make money off of it. I'm going to buy this product because nobody else can even find product, and I'll just give everybody a chance to like I basically broke even. You know what I mean? I was like, it's just a way to get people to open product that can't find it. Because I didn't even know like breaking was like a profitable thing at the time. It was just, and I set it up on the Facebook page. We just did it live on Facebook, and I threw a bunch of singles, and you could like roll the dice. There was all kinds of cool little like aspects I added to it to try to make it fun. But I was no king of cards. I tell you that.
Yeah, that was fun. Back in the innocent old 2020 days, man. We've come
now, wasn't it?
We've come.
Now we're all cynical and grumpy.
Grumpy.
Ham, how are you doing? How's Florida?
Florida's doing all right. I'm still tired. I was just telling Neo, I just got back from a retreat for work for the last 3 days. So I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things now. And my thing with cards right now, I don't know what I even want to buy because it's just everything's ridiculous at this point.
You're like,
you want to chase something like your video today. I mean, you want to chase something, but like, is it even worth chasing anything?
Ham's like I didn't quit cards. Cards quit me.
Basically. At the end of the day, I mean, I got enough stuff in here to open anyway that I don't need to go anywhere, and it's already way cheaper than you can buy anything else, and it's nice stuff. So I think I'm just going to start ripping stuff here and just be happy with that. Move forward with it.
Every once in a while, you just fall into something though. You never know.
Yeah.
Fall into what? I don't even know what to fall into anymore. If I was going to chase something coming up, I mean, I like Stadium Club, but I'll just buy singles out of that, and then because it's too high price now. I was going to open, what's the Marvel Avengers or Metaverse, whatever just came out. It's like $300 a box.
Neo would know that.
The Infinity one?
Whatever, you get 2 autos a box.
Oh, yeah. The Marvel TV series one.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to open that, but at $300 a box, I don't care if there's 2 autos in it. I don't want to open it for that.
Yeah, the auto checklist is pretty good on that, I think. But
it is. So I watched the guy open I just posted a video of the guy opened 5 boxes of the Cup Hockey from 2022-23 while I was in the store, and then he ended up opening like 5 of those boxes. Like everybody in the store went through a case of those because there was just a hardcore collector group for Marvel, Star Wars type stuff. So they just kind of came in to spend because it was a trade night. The best auto ended up being a Bradley Cooper redemption card, which is one of the better autos. They were saying,
like the actor
Samuel Jackson's in that set too.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson's in it. And then
which set is that?
Marvel.
The new Marvel. What's it called? Marvel what though?
So what does
Marvel
it have Samuel?
Universe Series 1, I think, because they just announced Series 2 today. It comes out.
So then does it have Samuel L. like as Nick Fury?
Yeah.
Okay. Who does that have Bradley Cooper as Rocket?
Yeah.
Rocket.
Okay. I didn't know
They
if it
got
was
they got a lot of good signers for that.
Yeah, I mean, all the cards look really nice.
Well, you figure they have some of the bigger stars playing a lot of the characters now. I just didn't know.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough for them to get some, like Samuel L. Jackson just doesn't sign a lot. So
right. This will probably be Series 1, Series 2, and then that's it because I don't have license after that.
Yeah. Well, the running theory is they had a bunch of these auto stickers laying around and they needed to use them by the end of the year. So they basically built this product just to dump the autos. That's why you're getting 2 autos per box.
And the auto cards look really nice. I mean,
because they had to use those stickers up by the end of the year.
Yeah. Because what's Hawkeye's daughter's name? Whoever she is.
Is it his daughter?
Kate Bishop?
Kate Bishop?
It's not his daughter.
It's not his daughter.
Okay, that was one of the other autographs.
That's a good one too to pull. I mean, she's extremely popular.
Yep, and then out of like all the autographs I saw pulled, there was only 2 that were like, eh. Everything else is fantastic.
Yeah,
but I have a question, and this is just I guess like a fun type question, because Neo, you know this because you collect some pop culture autos. So do you, Dustin. But we always say like the person's autograph on a really popular character will carry more value in the hobby than just an autograph of that person. Like Han Solo, Harrison Ford. You know that, Neo. That's a that's a big thing, right?
$300.
Right. You get a Harrison Ford, just a basic Harrison Ford auto on like a Pop Century card or something in comparison to a Star Wars card that's got him as the Han Solo character. For you guys, like somebody like Samuel L. Jackson, I mean, that's a huge autograph. We know he has the Mace Windu, which is pretty expensive in the Star Wars set. But if you could pick a Samuel L. Jackson character to have an autograph on, and it was actually from that set and from that character, not just something like you picked it in a Leaf set. Mm-hmm. Is there something that you think would be cooler than, say, Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury? I mean, the Mace Windu one is pretty elite, but of course, it carries the Star Wars.
From a collector standpoint, it would have to be one of the 2, for sure. Obviously, if you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to tend towards that way. If you're a Marvel fan, you're probably going to go the other way.
But what about any of his other movies? To me, I would like a Jules Winfield.
I feel like Jules would be very popular.
Jules Winfield, Samuel L. Jackson from Pulp Fiction would be an amazing auto.
I think if they had an auto of him as every character, that one probably sells for the most.
I've always thought of a flawless style card and basically put 3 to 5 pictures of that player, that person's characters that they've played, and they do an on-card auto of that. I think that would be a fantastic homage to the actor itself and then the popular roles that player or person has done in past. That's always been one of my mock-ups that I did. Just a clean card and then this guy that played these 4 to 5 characters, kind of super great photos, big auto across it on card. It'd just be probably a fantastic, good foiling. I could just see it. That would be just like a so desired card, almost like when Marvel did like the Infinity Stone set and stuff. Really nice, high quality cards. Yeah, the Black
Lord. Nugs card says I have a GIMP auto 1 of 1. That's a Pulp Fiction reference. If you guys don't know, a GIMP auto 1 of 1. Alpha has a card question here, guys. If you want to hit that at all.
Which one? This one?
Alpha 21.
Oh, okay. We'll come back to you, Graham, about Wemby.
Like, is Wemby coming down in price? I don't know. I mean, you could look at any
short answer, yes.
I was looking.
Basically, yes.
I think his Prism flatlined.
Yeah.
Just look at where this stuff was.
He's just playing fine to start the season, and that's not good enough to maintain numbers.
All right, Steve, you want to tackle Alpha?
Well, I mean, do you think vintage baseball is better hold long term than GOATs like Jordan, Kobe, Brady, etc.? I mean, I think when you're talking Jordan, Kobe, and Brady, chop off the etc. because etc. can become broad. But when you're talking about Jordan, Kobe, and Brady, you really can't go wrong with that in comparison to vintage baseball. But it's always going to depend on the card that you're getting, right? With vintage baseball, you want rookies. I mean, a lot of people like to collect set runs. So your vintage collectors look for set runs, high grade. And vintage is really going to be based around the grade because there's not necessarily anything really rare about the cards themselves other than the grade that gets slapped on it that will then make it rare in a pop report. But, and then Jordan, Kobe, Brady, etc. I mean, if you're just collecting base prisms of them, that's different. Those guys are always going to hold high collectability in the hobby, but it's just going to be, the cards that have a collectability to them, like a desire, like a collector is going to desire those cards. And that's not going to be your base stuff. Like if a collector wants to collect every card of one person that's their favorite, they're going to get a Kobe Bryant base prism and they need one of them, right?
Yeah.
But when you're talking about chasing down a special piece for your collection, then it's just going to be a rarity type stuff. I mean, those are good names, and really to extend on it with etc. would be a bit, because then you just start getting into a lot of names. You can
tack like LeBron on there is probably the only option.
Yeah, there are names you could tack onto it for sure, but maybe when you start talking about etc., that could be a big
modern baseball name. You could probably add Griffey.
What's up, Jordan? How you doing, man? Yeah.
Ham, do you want to throw in on this?
I mean, it's gonna, like Steve was saying, it comes down to the card. When you hit vintage, you don't have options like you do when you start talking about Kobe and Brady and Jordan. You can really peg into how high of the market you want to tap into for that, and then make sure it's rare enough that it's always going to be highly desirable. So it's going to be very specific, but there's more available of newer guys than there are obviously of the vintage guys. So, I mean, vintage is really pigeonholed to what you can actually hold that's always going to be desirable for a collector.
I think the interesting angle here is does the demand for vintage, like 20 years from now, is the demand for vintage baseball what it is now, or are people more like, oh no, I want the cool 90s inserts of the guys listed below?
Well, I think also because right here, this question is kind of weird, because when you're talking about the GOATs like Jordan, Kobe, Brady, but then you're talking about vintage baseball. Now we can take vintage baseball. We can also narrow that down to players. This is just talking the whole entire broad spectrum of vintage baseball, as opposed to where we've actually selected a few of the best players to collect from basketball and football, being Jordan, Kobe, and Brady. Now, if you were to say Mantle, Ruth, Mays, and things like that, now you're actually narrowing down your window or spectrum of vintage baseball into a couple players that will also always be highly collectible. You don't even have to call them vintage baseball. All you got to do is say, will Ruth, Mays, Aaron, and these guys always be collectible? You don't even have to refer to it as vintage baseball. And
I think modern guys have a better chance of getting higher quicker than vintage baseball that's kind of already set a base and it just has like a slow creep, where there's going to be people, you know how it is, you get older, you become more established in life, you have more money, you start spending money on, stuff that you've wanted or have always liked or all of a sudden are indulged in. And you're probably not going to go all the way back that far. You're going to try to get something that you're more related to, like a Jordan, a Kobe, or a Brady, because A, they're GOATs. B, you watch them play. You have a tie to them, that, that engagement that you had through time and that memory. And I think that's going to be the first place people go that have money that are going to try and buy these things.
Maybe he's watching them play. We don't know this gentleman's age. He's Alpha 21. If he's 21, he didn't.
If he's watched Babe Ruth play, he's a warlock.
Not Babe Ruth. I'm talking about he may not have seen Jordan, Kobe, or Brady play. But to that argument, I never saw Willie Mays play yet. However, I felt like one of the biggest cards I needed to have in my collection was a Willie Mays rookie card.
I do worry that the newer people in the hobby aren't going to look back that far and care. And that's why I still think that run through the 90s is going to be bigger and go up faster than any of the vintage stuff.
No, I think it always goes, and this isn't the part of the live stream where we're supposed to argue. I think it goes to I think it goes to the player, though. I think it's very player. I think it's very player specific, as opposed, because like we always say, some players transcend generations.
Yeah.
Right. Which means today's generation as opposed to yesterday's, these players just always appeal to those generations. There's people now who are collecting Jordan that never saw him play. There's people who buy Babe Ruth cards who never saw him play. And that's because those names and those people are larger than life and they've transcended generations. And there will be players from every generation that don't transcend and are forgotten about. That's why when I said you're comparing vintage baseball to 3 actual players who are kind of transcendent, is kind of
even if you think about like vintage basketball, I mean, I don't care about having Wilt Chamberlain, Walt Frazier, or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I'd rather have Jordan, Kobe,
right,
LeBron.
but then again, we're really talking different names when you're talking about Walt Frazier. But I mean, when you're talking about Walt Frazier and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, that is 2 really different ends of talent and transcendence. Walt Frazier was a great player in his era. Would he be a great player if he played today? Maybe, but he's not a household name. Like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is. Not only was he a great player, the best of his time, still considered by many or by some to be the best ever, a top 3 ever. And, he was in movies. He was also more of a pop culture person, right?
Yeah, he's a bigger than life guy. He was kind of like what Shaq became, basically, for that time frame. Dustin, I can't hear you.
Oh, I can't hear you, Dustin.
Speaking of legends.
I got you now.
Oh, damn.
Speaking of legends falling off, Steve, let's just address the elephant in the room. Are you going to make a YouTube video ever again? Or what?
I don't know, man. As long as we're doing, until you say, hey, Steve, you can no longer be on Off-Centered, I'm kicking you off because you're not a content creator anymore. The people who really, if people want to see me, they know they can find me here every other week, right?
How are you going to do the national giveaway next year if you don't have any videos?
Well, next year, or you mean next year, or you mean for the one coming up?
Like for the 20, well, that's next year, 2025.
I'll still do it. Really,
how are you going to do quiz questions if you don't have any content to quiz?
It'll all be based on one video.
Because the quiz content always starts with the new year, right? Remember last year I was like, okay, all of these all the content is all the questions are coming from content that started in 2024.
You heard him.
So
folks.
we're doing
next video, January 2025.
Woo! New Year special, baby. New Year special.
You're gonna be watching the ball drop, counting down.
Yeah, right.
All right, we've got a hobby election result show coming.
I thought that said resluts. I thought that said election resluts. I was like, what?
It seems to.
That's because you saw the girls and you automatically got dyslexic with the U and the L.
Well,
so that's where we're at. We're at the end. I didn't know if they were going to do it right after this show or whatever. But also, I think, did they say this is going to be their last show, like consistent show?
I think
it's just clickbait.
I have a question. What is the whole hobby election president thing anyway?
Everybody's got one now. So there's the YouTube Hall of Fame thing that they've been doing for a few years.
Yeah, I know the YouTube Hall of Fame. So there's something else now? I thought
they're making shit up.
SCR is just doing like because it's election year. They're doing like their own election thing, which is kind
Oh,
of.
He's
so
probably
it's
going to make
okay.
fun of that.
So I've seen little
That's
snippets of
basically-
Mangini with it. I've even seen some snippets with you with it, but
Mangini has been working his ass off.
but it's being presented by Sports Card Radio. That's who's putting it on then.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know the whole foundation of it. I just thought it was something.
Now they got Brian Gray's starting up one. I mean, like everyone's got one now.
Is he starting
Brian
up a
Grey.
different one?
We should have started the Off-Center Hall of Fame hobby thing and just start, throwing our own votes in on stuff.
Okay.
Just like
Brian Gray's supposed to be on Carlos's channel.
I only know who one or
Already
two
happened.
people in this whole photo are.
Okay,
I know Mama Breaks and I know Mangini. I don't even know who the other three are.
Carlos and Brian Gray did a 4-hour live stream. Was that Monday?
I was not sitting through that. I'm like, dude, I need chapters. I need you to break this thing down for me.
4 hours. That's like half a day at work, man. You better be paying me.
Not
to
when
watch
it's
that.
live.
Can't do it.
I guess if I was like on an airplane or something.
Exactly. Or you're forced.
So we'll find out. It looks like, spoiler alert, is John Mangini is going to be elected the new hobby president, which so it's kind of funny how SCR does this thing on their website to where you can vote 1,000. You can vote as many times as you want for yourself. So you could just go there and refresh if you've got time on your hands, I guess. Then you can.
How are you not winning this then?
Like, who are the nominees?
I should have dove. I actually thought about it. I was like, I'm going to get on there. I'm going to click this thing like 10,000 times. And I forgot about it.
Who are the nominees?
There's like a dozen different people on the list. There's a bunch of different people, Mojo and Roth. And there's a bunch of different people. You're probably on it too. They just like put a bunch of people on it.
Well, I didn't get any votes. I'm the independent party.
Nugs wants us to step up our controversy.
Yeah, step it up. Controversy. Mike, what's
I know
on?
if Sports Card Radio is going away, then there's
They're not going away. They make too much money on the side from this BS.
Well, I think it said they're going to still do live streams, but just when they want to do them, like not like every.
Yeah, they're not doing a weekly one.
You mean like everybody else that does content?
Well, except for me and Neo
and Steve.
No. Me and Neo do it like
Yeah,
consistently.
but Steve's super consistent. He just doesn't ever do it.
He's really consistent.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Consistently never making videos.
It's like geocaching, but it's not actually there. You're just looking for something that's just not there.
Okay. Rich, I don't know exactly what
What are you talking about, Rich?
With the website thing. I thought you were making a joke. I thought you were just talking about like eBay or something about the website.
Is that Rich?
Sorry, I'm tired. I fell asleep for.
I wish there was a website you could use to click to
Not being
sell a
old,
card to
Dustin.
someone who was offering to buy it at their preferred price. Is that kind of like?
It's not how it's going to work.
Is that kind of like how Star Stock was?
No.
The way Fanatics does things, it just can't.
Nugs is looking for like the Attitude Era.
He just wants you to cut a promo every 5 seconds.
We're the WCW before Nitro.
Yeah.
Bro Benny 2K, he had a comment earlier say it's okay to break a box every now and then he's commenting now, why do you think hobby boxes are so expensive? Man, Bro Benny, man, I thought it was okay to break a hobby box every now and then. You obviously didn't watch my video from
You broke the word
Budapest.
hobby box to break.
Yeah.
I was like,
Next
well,
time,
hell.
only 4 packs.
I was like, man, I'm on vacation. I'm going to treat myself to a hobby box of this new football product. Man, let's just say lesson
Absolute
learned. Right?
worst product you could possibly.
Once Steve
rip.
opened that box, everything started to go downhill. There was like
I think that might have been my last video. I might have did 1 or 2 videos after that.
A lady
He
at the
got-
night visited him.
Hey, Steve, I still haven't broke this
After
open
him,
yet. Is
and,
that wild card stuff?
I got propositioned by a hooker, everything.
Yep.
Yeah,
Had
all
that's
that.
when it all fell apart. You're broken.
I don't know how you can't put that in the next year's giveaway. You have
The
to
Jim
put-
Everett.
You have
Man, you know what should be in the giveaway should be the Aaron Rodgers slab. You know how many people wanted that thing from the channel?
Where is it? Where is
Where
it?
is
Do you
it?
still have it?
I still have it. Of course I still
Well, we
have
haven't seen anything in so long. We don't know if it exists.
Yeah,
I
we thought
mean,
you had
yeah.
big plans for it.
it. I'm letting it marinate, baby. You gotta let
Exactly.
it marinate.
You're out at the
It's
beach
always
throwing like a
best when you
frisbee.
let it marinate.
Dog's grabbing it. Daisy's bringing it back.
Doug says he's about to move to the 302. Is they really going to move to the 302? Look, it was 80 degrees today, November 6th in Delaware. I was at the beach. Look, you guys think I'm flush. I'm not. I have sun. No, I was at the beach today. I was at the beach today in 80 degrees. Like, I'm in short sleeves and shorts. Like, it's crazy.
And then next week, you're going to be freezing your ass off.
He says he's for real. Bethany Beach. Bethany Beach is not far from me.
I don't like
this out in Dewey all the time.
November. I feel like I'm getting cheated on fall.
I'm waiting for Dustin to come get another crush.
Oh man, I can drink a lot of those crushes.
An 89 Pro Set box now is about $75 to $90.
Is it really 75? I was about to put 40 or 50 bucks in the chat.
No, they've gone up because every time I kept looking for them at a show the last couple of years, they're like 75 to $90, right in that range.
So you're telling me the best buy for sports cards has been 89 Pro Set boxes? Just sit on those because they were $30.
Yeah, it would have been. It doesn't matter what it is. If it is halfway decent and it was 3 years ago, yeah, just put a multiplier on it.
That's how far we've come now, where junk wax, it's all come full circle now to where it's either in a landfill or it's been ripped open. And now it's finally starting to become rare to get sealed boxes.
If it's a chase for 1 or 2 cards that you could grade and get 3 to 4 times your money, the box is acting like it's giving that to you now.
No, it's still crazy cards like from the Pro Set stuff, like Rich is saying. You remember the Lombardi Hollow? Like, yeah. That card's legendary to us who grew up in that era.
Yeah, I
never. Nobody in my neighborhood ever had the Lombardi Hollow. You call it junk wax.
Me neither. I opened a bunch of that.
Right? You can call it mass produced. You can call it junk wax. You can call it whatever. But nobody in my neighborhood ever pulled a Lombardi Hollow.
Back when it was one per pallet, and the pallet was like 500 boxes.
Right? It was like.
Actually, the internet ruined it for collectibles folks. The internet ruined everything because that's literally what it was in 1990. It was like, hey, if no one in the neighborhood's got it, it's rare.
Yeah.
Like now,
one guy would hoard all of them and never tell anybody, and just sell them one at a time.
No, it's back then, man. You didn't understand the concept of supply and demand. You just understood, hey,
somebody did. I guarantee one of these.
This guy's doing good, or he's on my favorite team. I mean, that's what that was.
Supply. Nobody on the block has it. Must be rare.
Yeah.
Hey,
nobody on my school bus has it.
Or just price, right? When we're 10 years old, if you have an 81 Topps Joe Montana, like you're the talk of the neighborhood. Like,
yeah, how many days? The price was how many days of lunch are you skipping to steal your lunch?
I mean, I had a friend whose family owned a restaurant in the town that I grew up in, so they were like more of the wealthier family. And I remember going to a card show at the mall, and his mom pulling out her credit card to buy him an 81 Topps Montana when it was like $225 raw. Oof. I mean, as a 10-year-old, that's like rich money, right? That's like $225 for a card. My mom is barely scraping together $7 to get me a Dan Marino. So I'm kind of like, and then he's got the Montana, and then it's the whole talk of like the school. Like when you grow up in small town, small school, like I did, it's like, man, he's got the Joe Montana.
Let's rob it.
It's like
kick his ass and take it.
Yeah, but I mean, it is real. It's real feeling like that back then.
Yeah, Rico was saying the winning scratcher to win the trip to the Super Bowl. Did they ever give that away in Pro Set? Because you remember I had the little book, you'd open it and you have to scratch it to see if you won. Did anybody ever win that?
They never. I'm sure they never gave it away.
If you did get that and it's a win and it's the winner, I wonder what that would be worth on just like the secondary market.
I remember I went to a video rental place. If you remember these, it wasn't even a chain. It wasn't even like a Blockbuster or a video. What do they call it? Video gallery, whatever they were. It wasn't one of the chains. It was just a local downtown video rental place. And they had,
we had the Video 98 where you had the back room with the curtain.
Where I worked, we had that.
And it was like they had 89 Pro Set on the register at a video rental place. And I remember buying a pack. It was dark outside because I walked across the street to the post office. I'm walking around the block to go home, and I opened it and I pulled the Pete Rozelle. And I was like, I got the Pete Rozelle. Because at the time, the 89 Pro Set Pete Rozelle was a money card.
Like a short.
The one thing I never saw, I opened up so much 89 Pro Set as a kid, were the autographs. or not the 89 Pro set, the 92, the Pro Line portraits.
Pro Line.
Oh,
Those are rough.
I opened those.
Was
I
it
used to get,
91
I
or
never hit an
92?
auto in a box.
Yeah, I never knew that there was autographed versions of that ever until I was an adult.
yeah, I used to get boxes of that like around Christmas time. I would always ask for that from my dad. My dad had money; he could buy it for me, and I would always want that set or that product just because I knew I could get an autograph out of it. And back then, that was your only shot at an autograph. And I remember getting like one of the wives. It was like Jennifer Montana.
Yeah. Montana's wife back then. Is it the same lady, or did they get? I think it's
it was. I remember back
was
then like,
blonde.
being young and getting a card of her, and I was like, man, she's hot.
Yeah, she was a babe. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And I got some autographs from those Pro Line boxes, but I never got anybody really good. I think those are great sets to go back and buy now because a lot of people, it's there. Like we've talked about this in the past.
It's just a cheaper autograph, and
it's just a good bargain. A lot of them, it's their first autograph card. A lot of them sign a lot better and a lot more clear because it's not like they were signing them. Like I relate that to the Jerry Rice. If you go back and get the Jerry Rice, he signs Jerry Rice. He signs it fully out. And nowadays,
it's playing days and it's like
playing days. Nowadays, it's just kind of like a J and a slash and an R. You know what I mean? He doesn't sign it as clean.
Hold on, let me see if I can grab mine.
A big one for me, I got at the National 2 years ago. Ham, you were with me, was the Walter Payton.
Yeah.
Is the Walter Payton one's really hard to find. So much to the point that people have that card and used to have Walter Payton sign it, and then they would just have it authenticated by PSA or by Beckett.
Yeah.
But to get the pack pulled one is really tough, and I found that one at
because those pack pulled ones had that embossed stamp in the corner.
Mm-hmm. And that one ran me like $200 or $300, somewhere between $200 and $300.
Yep.
But like his upper deck autographs are running you like in the thousands.
Yep.
So for people that don't know what we're talking about here, so the regular card obviously is just the regular card.
I think I got one laying right over here too. Let me grab it.
Watch your headphones, Steve.
It's got a seal.
Yeah.
It's got like a certified seal on the corner of it.
That would have been funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seal is where it's all at. I mean, because if you see one where it's signed on the back and there's no seal, it's not.
Oh, and a lot of guys try to pass these off
all day long.
A lot of forgers.
Now, there were a couple of guys that did sign the front of the card and not the back of the card.
Yeah.
The same one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Mine signed a little bit smaller, but you can see he signed the whole name.
I mean, the best part is the write-up on the back of these. You know, it's so 90s.
Yeah.
It's so 90s. But it's like Joe Montana and I have a great relationship. We played together long enough to know what the other is thinking. You know, like whatever. It's like this whole write-up about.
And there was the Walter Payton. So I got the Payton autograph on that one's pretty clean too. And I found that at the National. It's got the embossed, so it's the pack pulled.
That's what I want. And the Belichick. I like to have the.
Oh, the Belichick's nice.
Belichick's a big one.
Yeah.
I had the Belichick, but I traded it away at a National in Atlantic City. So whenever that National was, the time that Neo took me all the way down the boardwalk to try to find pizza.
Try to kill you.
That one time, that was a hell of a night.
Yeah.
That was a night that we'll never forget.
My feet won't forget it. My shoes picked up anything out of them from all the drug users that were on the boardwalk.
We had a good time at this past National.
It was like I was talking to my wife tonight about the National. It's funny because we talked about it earlier and how I'm going to do the giveaway because I've pulled back on the content and I'm just not as deep into things right now. And I was like,
oh, that's cool.
I was thinking to myself, I was like, is the National even for me this year? And then I'm just like, it's more like a guy, like, and we've always said this. I said to her, I said, it just feels more like a guy's getaway.
It's like a fishing trip.
And I'm thinking about this year's National in Cleveland, even though it was the least I did from a buying, selling, trading standpoint, it was the most fun I've ever had at a National because we went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and we went to the baseball game, and there was just more to it than just, hey, this is a card show. We shot
Airbnb was a big deal.
We were all cashed out that day, and we were like, we're cashed out, man. But we were like, no, second wind, man. We got to get out to Filmington's party. And it was just, it was like, it just felt like it was not just a card show.
Or went out to eat, so their chicken
How you gonna forget the chicken?
No, yeah, and I was going to say,
picking up now. I was waiting for Steve to talk.
And I'm like, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, it's not like the other nationals weren't fun. I had a good time in Chicago twice. I had a good time in Atlantic City. I just had a lot more fun with the extras we did in Cleveland this year. I had the emotional thing going on with trying to find cards that me and my grandfather would like. You know, we had the Airbnb that was like out of town. I don't know. It just felt like it was more.
I think there was definitely more this past year for sure at the Cleveland. The Cleveland one, there was just more. We did, like you said, there were other things that were going on every day, even if it was within the show. There were still other things that weren't present in the previous shows that we had been to.
When we were sitting there at that Cleveland baseball game, and Ramirez hit a home run, and Big Christmas hit a home run.
Big Christmas
hit a home run, and we're sitting there. I didn't feel like I was in Cleveland for a card show.
Correct.
You know what I mean? I wasn't like, oh, I'm here for a card show. I felt like I was just enjoying myself at a baseball game with a friend.
Yeah.
And it was just more. It was just more to it. That's just was my takeaway from that one. So even though from a hobby standpoint, I don't know where I stand, and I don't know what the National will bring for me this year in Chicago, but I still feel like I want to go because of the camaraderie of us. I'm like, man, I still want to go. Like, because even if I don't buy or sell one single card, I want to go and I want to have a good time with the guys, basically. So, yeah, that's still kind of where I'm standing on that at the moment.
Do you think the Cleveland thing, a lot of it, like, do you think a lot of the X factor was the fact that the three of you were in the Airbnb versus just going back to your hotel room every night by yourself?
I mean, it felt more homey. And we had fun, like the night we went back and you had Beavis and Butthead on the laptop. I mean, come on. I mean, that's a moment, right? Like, I even had footage of that. But even if I didn't have footage of that, I mean, we had a couple drinks, we came back, and then we're just like randomly laughing at stupid Beavis.
And we drove down to the hood to get some pizza in the middle of the night.
And all the nights at Neo with all the nights at Boss Chicken. You know, with Neo and stuff. I mean, we're sitting there and we're talking about who we're going to draft in fantasy football and things like that. It was just, you know, it was just, I don't want to say bonding because that sounds corny or cliche, but it was just, man, it was like I'm enjoying time with friends. I'm not just here for business.
Well, that, and I think even
go ahead.
Even being in the show and getting the passes to go downstairs and being able to freely go to specific places, being able to get into the show early like we wanted to, I think all that plays that factor for us as well.
All of it.
Because we're not being deterred from what we're trying to do. And
the extra giveaways I did. You know, like the extra giveaways I did for the channel, like with the, how long did it take me to find somebody to give a Zion case to? You would have thought that would have been easy.
Yeah, well, it's a little sketchy to go up to a kid as an adult.
Yeah,
that you don't know. I mean, put that in front of anybody. Yeah. I think that most of them are going to have a really hard time doing that.
Chat, put down if you have taken a break from collecting. I feel like this is kind of a good question for all from Rich. Did you guys take a break from collecting? I just honestly, Rich, I bought some big items over the summer, some of the bigger ones that I've ever bought. So it's been more of just like recovering funds, type I think selling off other cards to pay for the stuff that I bought over the summer. I have been getting into, so something kind of random that I've kind of impulse buyed into recently is 2012 Silver Prisms. This is Tony Kukoc, but I've been kind of adding some of these in 9s and 10s. I think it's kind of like a fun little set to collect. The original Prism.
Zach Pierce makes a comment here about experiencing hobby burnout. I mean, that could be kind of to an extent. I don't like to refer to it as hobby burnout because it's not like I hate the hobby. It's not like I don't want to be involved in the hobby. Sometimes when you're really, really deep into the hobby to the point. And again, I can't even relate to like Dustin and Neo who put videos out every day. But, just because I don't do videos anymore or haven't been doing videos and talking about what I'm doing doesn't mean that I still am not on eBay like at least every other day looking to see if there's something that pops up that I like that I'm looking for. But right now, also this time of year, man, I really get involved in fantasy football. Like you said, I was talking about, I have 4 leagues. And that's another thing that takes up time. You got to, like, I try to win. So I'm doing my research every week. I'm trying to trade players with people and stuff. So, I'm really much into the sport and into the NFL right now. I'm still looking at being in, finding cards that I like. But when something like that happens, things got to take a back seat. When I started YouTube, I quit playing video games. I mean, I used to play video games for fun and for a hobby. I haven't played a video game since 2020. I haven't touched a console. I haven't touched a video game on my PC. That's not because I don't like video games, but it was like, okay, if I'm going to do YouTube videos, then I don't have time to play video games. And so that's kind of like where I'm at right now. I'm really into the fantasy football and stuff.
Now I want to see Steve do a
Right.
live stream while he's playing a video game.
And then I went to dinner.
I'm a video game streamer.
I take
Everybody
the
does
dog
that.
out everywhere.
Like everybody goes to that.
Get a bikini top and start streaming, live stream, whatever.
Yep. Just start poning people and just berating them in the comments.
Yeah, go for it.
Took a break. See, actually, that's the hardest part right there, is actively flipping all the time. That's when I know that it's not a great flipping environment. If Steve is not really active, then I know that I probably shouldn't be messing with it. If Steve's taking a break, then it probably means there's not a whole lot of opportunity, right?
I mean,
well, Steve's usually ahead of stuff by a few months, if not sometimes half a year.
And like you guys know, I mean, my most recent flip was Justin Fields. So go back to before Russell Wilson was named starter, because that ship sailed when that happened, was that I had flipped some Justin Fields cards. So even though it hasn't been on YouTube and stuff, I'm still like 3 or so weeks removed from actually moving a nice lot of cards to make some money. But opportunities are way few and far between right now. And sometimes there's just not an opportunity. And if you try to fabricate an opportunity, or you try to find something that's not actually there, that's when you get yourself in trouble. Like, at least for me, somebody who does stuff conservatively, like, I'm not going to be like, okay, I'm a card flipper, I have to constantly be flipping something, regardless if it's there in front of me or not. If I see something that I think is a good idea, or something like that, then I will jump on it. But I'm not going to, trick myself into thinking that there's something there just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, Rich, I don't know if you were asking us this question, but I stopped collecting cards when I was like 12, 13, and then got back in 2018. So I was out of the game for decades, literally. And then 2018 came back in. I've collected stuff, and I actually even bought some Reggie Bush cards in 2006 when they came out, just for fun. But I wouldn't consider myself like a collector. I just like randomly bought some Reggie Bush cards in 2006. So I wouldn't say I was like back in or anything.
I've almost always collected something, but I've taken like a decade off of whatever the somethings are, whether it's cards, magic, comics, toys, like something. I've almost always had some sort of active collecting phase.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never stopped.
You're surrounded by white long boxes all around you.
Yeah, because
now there's a whole other set over here. So, but part of this is that collection I bought that I'm still going through. That I got to piece out. I don't know. So, you want to see some nonsense though out of the nonsense page? Y'all remember Henry Ruggs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's an XRC. These are all XRCs, and those are the ones we have to get the redemption. Send it in for wide receiver number 3 in the draft or whatever, and then you end up with all of these. So he has a whole bunch of these of a lot of guys. More than I even have a 10 gold to 10, which is funny. This is still a $100 card.
So who's the end user for that, Mike, other than Frank at the landfill?
People that just want to collect, like the gold is specific because someone might be making the gold set.
Yeah,
so
the gold.
There's only 10 of them, so
that
there's
makes sense.
There's kind of same with tie dye. There's only 25, but I mean he had all. I mean I got a Jordan Love. I got plenty. I don't know, like 5, 6 CD Lambs.
Is that the lot you told me that you were buying?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's every sport, and it's through basically the whole pandemic time frame. And this guy was in just a ton of breaks. He was just buying stuff to try to resell later, and something unfortunate happened to him, so I came into the equation.
Yeah, Zach, this is kind of an interesting question. And part of, I guess, the problem, so a guy reached out to me on IG to bring to my attention that he's going to go ahead and auction off a card that I've wanted from him for a year, 18 months. And it's a 1-of-1. And he's like, hey, just want to give you a heads up. This is going to hit the auction block on Sunday.
What Stranger Things card is it?
I'm not going to talk to you about it.
Neo owes you one for that.
Yeah. Like, damn it, who won this? And then it's going to be on. It's going to be on the next off center.
I heard you got that Robert Downey Jr. with the inscription on it.
Yeah, but that's like an example of where I'm like, damn it, I'm going to have to like get it. Try to get it. The good thing about Stranger Things cards is I'm only looking there's only 7 people on Earth that are also looking at the stuff, so I can get these. It's like 2017 in the card hop, everything when nobody was.
It's gonna start getting pumped now. They dropped the teaser today. I'm surprised we didn't make us launch the Upside Down repack today.
They didn't drop a. Did they? They didn't drop a trailer though, right? They just did the episode names.
They did the episode titles.
Yeah. That's what I was kind of waiting for. Was are they going to drop a trailer? Because that would be awesome if they did. But
I think we're still a little ways out from that. But I bought. I was at the Fort Wayne show over the weekend. I picked up a 1-of-1.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I got the Vlad. This is from the brand new Allen and Ginter. It's got a chunk of the lineup card in it, which is pretty cool.
That's
cool.
I picked this up from Triple Crown. He's in Dakota's Discord.
Yeah, I saw his video. Something like, this sucker, I can't believe he paid this much for one. That was the title. Idiot buys 1-of-1. I was like, wow, that's kind
of moron content creator purchases 1-of-1 baseball card.
Yeah.
Was that he referring to you?
Yeah.
It was?
That's who I bought the 1-of-1 off of.
Who was it?
Triple Crown. JT.
Was he just kidding with you or something?
No, he didn't actually put that in the title.
No, yeah, just kidding.
Well, y'all can't be finding me like that. I'd be leaving that shit.
No. He literally opened the box.
Not making content, not watching content.
And pulled it.
There you go, Dustin. Why don't you start an off-center Discord, man?
Oh my
God.
You can barely manage a chat room during a live stream. You want to have a Discord?
Yeah, Grim, do you want to be the moderator for it? Because I don't have time to do all that.
I have
I don't want to.
You know what's funny, Dustin?
Neil's got
I think we're both wearing the shirts that we wore to Filmington's party this year.
Oh, did I wear the Nirvana shirt?
Because I put on a button-up Hawaiian. Ham put on like a button-up Hawaiian, and then you were coming out of the bathroom, and I was like, "Dustin smells like Teen Spirit." Remember, you had the Nirvana T-shirt on, the Nirvana shirt on.
I'll drop the link in chat. That could be the unofficial off-center Discord.
I'm fine with that. We need moderators now. Now we're busy.
No, let it fly. No, we want all the random bunk. We want it to be the place to go.
Wow,
where the party is.
Yeah, you open the zoo up and you let it ride.
Steve, do you even know what Discord is?
Look, this is where the wild people are at. She laid out. She hanging halfway out of her cup.
Yeah, there is
living. She's living.
There's supposed to be like Discord wrapped into your YouTube channel coming up. That's like a new thing I saw. That's coming up next year.
Steve, do you know what Discord is?
Yeah, I know what Discord is because I used to use it when I was a video gamer.
Oh,
when you converted your gaming channel over to
no, I never did a video game. I never streamed or anything. I just played video games for fun. You know, I had spare time.
Greg wants to know if we know a dealer in Quebec who took $1 million in pre-orders from customers and then closed down shop for hockey product.
Did I see like a headline of that on a YouTube video where somebody had
if it happened, Neo would have made that video.
Skipped on $1 million worth of pre-orders or something. I did see a title for a YouTube video that said something about a shop owner.
Neo's does all this.
$1 million. You're thinking probably about Dan's video about the shop in Texas.
Maybe. I don't know the details.
That was something different.
Okay.
The tops now of the last A's game in Oakland. It was pretty cool. Huh. Nice.
I'm not sure.
No, I don't do any of that Tops Now stuff anymore. I'm just over it. They're doing everything too much. It's not special anymore. It's boring.
It's like Project 2020 now. Tops Now is just like Project.
I think it's worse.
It's worse. Well, yeah, like anytime anything happens, base hit, Tops Now card.
We have the base from the game. This card's only $399.99 and it's limited. It's like, which base? The one we got out of the back room.
The amount
I
of
don't mind the game specific relics. It's the card for everything that is more.
I think if the relics were included in the base price of the card as a hit, that'd be fine. I don't like the way that they sell them individually, and usually a bot or whale bullshit happens. So even if you did really want it, you got to go to the secondary market where it's already be pumped.
It's not a bot. They have like a Tops Now MVP program basically that they get first crack at it.
Okay, well that's even worse. So it's just don't do it, or just offer it only to Montgomery Club members and leave everybody else alone.
Or if you really want one, just wait like 12 months and you could buy it for half the price that they listed for. It's usually what happens to most of them.
Correct. Because most of the things, unless it's from an extremely monumental moment, don't hold value over time. I don't think any of them do, really. I don't know if one's gone up in value 6 months later.
I'm sure some Otani stuff has, and I'm sure some rookie like Wit stuff. You know what I mean? Like some of the stuff from rookie years is probably done okay.
I think Wit right now is a fantastic buy. If he does what he's supposed to do next year, I don't know how he doesn't just become a perennial player. That's just the top 3 guy in the league moving forward.
I was just thinking about this. It's amazing to me that Pokemon, as far as I know, right, Neo, they don't do numbered parallels.
Not yet.
Magic the Gathering just started dabbling in it. Pokemon never has. They don't need to.
Dude, that is such like the ace up their sleeve. If
they haven't even touched all that shit yet.
If sales start to slump for Pokemon, all they have to do is just turn on that.
They don't even got to worry about that for a while. Pokemon.
That reminds me, I wanted to ask Neo because I saw Neo's video for today, but I didn't get to watch it through. About the was it Marvel? It was 2 things teamed up. It was like one of them teamed up into a Marvel teamed up into a TCG game or something.
Yeah,
like Magic the Gathering. Yeah. So that's kind of like a play, like when they kind of did it with Lord of the Rings, also, right?
Yeah, the same exact thing, but
so it's the exact same thing. Did you get any of that, or did you?
So they did a pre-release drop for Secret Lair, which is like a limited print set. That was on Monday. I got 2 foil sets. They're $250 a piece. They're going for like $400 now. They sold out in like 2 hours, and there was like a 4-hour long queue. It was a mess. The first actual set doesn't release till next year. It's going to be Spider-Man.
And will it be like booster pack?
It'll be like the Lord of the Rings set, but it'll be all Spider-Man instead of Lord of the Rings.
No, I have a question for you because I don't know anything about that side of the hobby when it comes to the games. Do you think that a lot of the value draws off of the collectability, or do you think a lot of the value draws off of like it's going to be a popular game to play and people are going to really want the cards and the good cards to be good at the game?
Both.
Magic
leans more towards the cards for play, but I think the Marvel, the Universes Beyond, where they go with these like pop culture centric sets, I think get both.
Do you think all these new Marvel releases, is it kind of like Pokemon where they just kind of, because it seems like they're popular, each one that comes out, like, I mean, same characters and same, like, I
this
get
is something completely different. So
not talking about the Magic stuff, but just like like just Avengers set or whatever the new like Marvel card set is.
It's real tough to tell, right? There's like hardcore wallet fatigue right now because they're just cranking shit out. Okay. They got 2 months left.
I was wondering,
but that's just announced.
They announced today a reprint set of 92 Marvel Masterpieces that's going to be like Marvel Platinum, and like some people are freaking out about it, and some people are like, "What the frick are you guys doing? Like, this is the biggest money grab in the world."
But that's the thing, I guess, kind of like with Pokemon and the games, is that when you're talking about an Upper Deck product where they're just putting out a Marvel set of people for you to collect, that's what it touches on, is the collector side of it. But when you're talking about something that the card actually has a use other than being a collectible, like a game, sort of draws from two sides of desire, right? Somebody desiring to collect it and somebody desiring to play it. So now you're looking at a bigger demand because you have two different types of person who wants the card, or you might even have somebody who wants to do both, right? What was I going to reference? There was the Marvel set that you bought some stuff of. Did that one come from Germany? Was that like the Schwartz stuff that was? It's
like
like
Schwartz. That was from China or
from
Japan.
China. Okay, and that was a game, right? But nowhere near. But that was like its own standalone game. That was nowhere near like along the populars of like.
Yeah, and it's all printed in Japanese because it's a foreign only release because they only have the license over there.
But when you
had cool artwork. I still have a box of that laying around.
I never seen anybody playing any of these games anywhere, so I don't.
But I'm just saying, with Magic the Gathering already being a huge entity within itself, and then Marvel being a huge entity within itself, like you put the two together, like you're bringing two markets together. You're bringing two types of collector / player together. Somebody like myself who really likes Marvel, but I've never dabbled in a Magic the Gathering at all. It's actually an appealing product to me because I like Marvel.
Yeah.
So, that's just
like how much of that stuff, whether it be Pokemon or Magic, is it like, because you speculate really on Pokemon boxes, like for you, like I think you said
all those boxes, that whole shelf is all Pokemon cases.
Because that's literally just like a money play. Like it's not like you don't want to open them or whatever. Nope. But how many, like the big kind of the popularity of it and the growth of it and the stuff sells out, how much of it is guys like you, gals or whatever, that are just doing the same sort of thing? Because I see whole YouTube channels around sealed product for Pokemon. Like,
I mean, that's the great unknown with sealed product. You don't really know, but I mean, you could tell a ton of it gets ripped because you could see how much the PSA grades every month of it. So
I guess
a crap ton of it is getting open. I think a crap ton of it is also getting stashed, but the sealed prices still go up over time. So it's the one thing about sealed, patience always wins if you can hold out, because there's always less of it.
Well, and how do you determine with the newer Pokemon product what's going to be the more valuable? Because it seemed like it's now just spit out nonstop.
That's the angle that you have to take. I buy a case regardless of the set.
Yeah, I don't.
Because you just don't know. And sometimes they pop off late.
There were good boxes, and then boxes that you couldn't even resell for what you bought it for retail, and that never changed.
But that's like the Rudy Alpha Investments way, is like just buy some of every product. Some of it's going to do well. Some of it's going to do like,
because especially with Pokemon, there was sets like Chilling Reign and Lost Origins and stuff that came out in the last block of sets that nobody wanted because they were air quote bad sets. And now they're some of the most expensive boxes because they turned into good sets. I don't know why, because I don't know the individual cards well enough.
Well, because I know it was usually coming down to what cards were the bigger hits based on characters, especially, and then some sets just weren't delivering on that, and I think that's where that value was coming in and out of. But like even from a perspective of playing, how do you play Pokemon or any of these TCG games when you know you have a $500 to $1,000 card? Are you throwing a slab on the table? The card's coming?
I know people that had Black Lotuses that just put it in a sleeve and shuffled up and played.
Not anymore.
No, I still know people that played vintage Magic.
That's the card they throw it out real slow. No vibration.
Is the Black Lotus the most rare? But is it also like a great card? Like, is it a strong?
Yeah, Black Lotus is probably the greatest Magic card ever printed.
But because it's a strong card to play with.
Well, and it's insanely rare. It was only ever printed in the first 4 sets.
But I mean, yeah, that's what I'm asking though. It's rare. It's rare, and it's a strong card.
And it's like the mantle of. It's like the most famous, most popular, most expensive. It's like checks every box.
The greatest. Like if we've heard of it. Yeah, if we've heard of it, and we've talking about it, and I know nothing.
It's like if you combined a mantle, a Jordan, and a Jim Brown in the one card, that's the Lotus.
Yeah, in fact,
the whole Power 9 from the original Magic release is insanely expensive, but the Lotus stands alone.
What is it Alpha first and Beta? Like for the first
Alpha, there's like next to none of, and then Beta had a decent print run. Then it's unlimited, then revised.
What was Alpha, like 1,000 originally made or something?
I don't remember that. I don't remember the specifics of. But Alpha is really hard to find.
What's going on with the Cavs? The last I saw, they were like 5-0. I looked it up.
They are currently 8-0, and they're about to win again.
Whoa. Whoa, are we
Who's
threatening
the best
that
in who's the best in the East
Warriors?
right now?
The Cavs record wise, the Celtics are 2.
Cavs are going to be 73-8.
Before today, the only 2 teams with a winning record in the East were the Cavs and the Celtics.
The Cavs do this every year.
They've never done that. If they win the night, it's a franchise record for most.
I mean, they start hot.
Start
I
a
feel like
season.
they start hot every year.
Neo, how are you feeling about the set coming out in January? Did you already talk about this?
Nah, that's the new specialty set for Pokemon. It's already sold out everywhere. Pokemon's absolutely crazy right now for pricing.
Brad, I'm probably going to go to the local Raleigh show here in December, and that'll probably be my just like wrapping up the year. I'll go there and just see if anyone's giving anything away at my local show before Christmas. But yeah, I'm not doing anything. I don't have anything planned out for next year. Culture Collision, maybe. I'm not exactly sure what I'm doing next year. I guess if
I'm
they
still
would-
debating on the Philly show in December.
Yeah, if they do the Orlando Fanatics Fest thing, if that pops up in February or something, I might go and.
I'm hoping it's first
Oh.
quarter next year
Well.
if they do it.
Oh, Neo, you got the inside track. Is it later or
Never.
not happening?
Yeah,
Everybody got fired.
Just stop acting like if you gotta
He's
let
not
us.
spilling any beans on camera just in case it changes.
Everybody got fired. I'm gonna put that's tomorrow's video. Neo's the source.
So this week, actually, one of my best friends that I grew up with, I haven't spoken or seen him in like 20 years. But I mean, he's like one of those friends that if you see him, it feels like there was never any time in between. I'm sure you guys have friends like that, like from school or growing up or whatever. So it's funny, like I contacted him yesterday. We had a 2-hour conversation catching up and everything. And I told him how I had done a YouTube channel. I mean, it was just crazy because he grew up collecting cards with me. And I'm like, we need to get together and do something. And he's like, well, I live just west of Washington, D.C. And I'm like, are you anywhere near the MGM Grand Casino? Because that's a place I'm familiar with. And he's like, no, I'm actually about an hour or so from there. I'm like, how about Fairfax or even Chantilly? And he's like, dude, I used to live in Chantilly. I just moved out of Chantilly. I'm about 20 minutes away from Chantilly. So now I'm like eyeing up the Chantilly card show that I believe is in December because he and I are going to get together and like hang out. And so the show just happens to be there. I'm going to go over that way for more than just the show. But to Brad's question, I'm aiming possibly for the Chantilly show. I just checked the date on it today because up until yesterday, I really didn't care. But I think there's one like December 20th. And I think I'm going to aim to go to that Chantilly show to check out some cards, but not just with me, like with a friend that I used to collect cards with that I haven't spoken with in 20 years. That was like one of my best friends. It still is one of my best friends. So cool. This should be pretty cool.
Are you doing Philly in December or no?
If I do I would. If I did Philly, I would have to run the gauntlet, right? Get off work, go to Chantilly, go to Philly, come home, go back to work, which is doable. It's doable when I'm in the grind of flipping cards. So I don't know if I want to put myself through the gauntlet if I'm not necessarily flipping cards, especially since Chantilly is in the same month. And I'll probably take a day or two off for that one so that I can actually, hang out and spend the day with my friend as opposed to hit the Chantilly show, balls to the wall for 3 or 4 hours and get the hell out of there and come back, So
One thing. So I was just thinking about this too. Last year, the entire cast of Scream, the first Scream movie, was at GalaxyCon, which happens to be in Raleigh, where I live, the same exact days that the National is every single year. And so I missed that. And I was kind of like, oh, that'd be cool to go to. But it was like, whatever. We're going to the National. Well, my daughter is really into that movie series now. And she's about to be 13. She's kind of getting to the age where dad's not cool anymore. And so, trying to figure out things that we can do together. And so if they come back again, they do that same GalaxyCon in like March or April, but they have it in Richmond, Virginia. And it's usually the same, actors and stuff that go to it. So I'm going to try to go to the one in Richmond, Virginia. I think it's in March. And that's just like a bunch of like, comic book actors and scary movie actors and that sort of a thing. Pop culture folks. So that'll be a different one. Mix it up a little bit. because cards are cool, but I'm into all the stuff. I think you're the same. Well, I know you guys are all the same. So
Yeah, Jay's asking what Chantilly show there is in December 24th. There may not be one. Like I said, I'm trying to check up on the date. I was just guessing there might be one around the time that there's one near Philly, but there might not be one exactly in December. I would have to look into it and see. I called you the other day because I wanted to congratulate Lynx on his big win.
it was insane. It was absolutely insane.
And I told my wife the whole story and everything, all the way back to when you started coaching and all about the playbook and everything. And I was like, man, I got to call him. And I even showed her your Instagram clip, man. I was like, look at this kid running around all crazy and happy. And she was like, who's that? I was like, that's Link.
I'll be honest. I don't know if I've ever seen him that happy in his entire life. I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm not even really exaggerating. Like, that happy. That was like pure, like,
like out of control happiness, like
out of control happiness. My wife was crying, you know, like it was insane. It was,
like I could see in your clip, man, that was like genuine, like out of control, like happiness. I was like, wow, man, that's one of the reasons I called it. That was one of the reasons I had called you, just to say, hey man, tell Lynx I said good job.
Yeah, it was cool because it worked. I mean, and it also, he contributed too. Like, he contributed on defense. He scored one of the touchdowns. So it wasn't like he was kind of like a bench player that just happened to be there. He also did contribute a lot to it.
We had a Tud, man. He putting up fantasy points out there.
They were trying to pick on him. Like, they had big receivers. Well, he's small. He's just a to kind of tall and skinny, but they try to pick on him always on kind of like they try to do a couple of the same play, like outside routes for extra points, and he like batted them down. He's really quick, and he's like, I just say he's like a ball hawk out there. It's crazy. I call him Ed Reed. But and then I showed, he's like, who's Ed Reed? And so I showed him clips of Ed Reed, and then I go and I went in to go check on him a couple of days ago. He's watching like Ed Reed highlights and interviews. Like, that's how his brain works. He gets like locked in on everything. So yeah, he's really funny with all that stuff. It was so improbable, though. It was so improbable. I was like just waiting for the shoe to drop. Like, they're going to come back, but they're going to fall short. They're going to fall short. There's just no way in hell, because they got demolished. It was 25-0 at half. Like, they got fucking smoked. I mean, it was going to be like 60-0. Like, the other team scored easily. Like, it wasn't like, and so we're like, all right, hopefully he's not too upset or whatever. And the football gods, like, it's like the clouds opened up and they're just like, we're going to give you this one. Because just every play worked, like all of a sudden out of nowhere, like everything works. It was pure insanity. So I'm glad that we got some video of it, like the reaction, him going nuts. And then literally like yesterday, my wife went up to him and was like, I still can't believe that game. And he's like, I can't either.
He'll remember it forever, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Someday he might be doing a live stream with 3 of his friends, and he'll be like, "Man, there was this flag football game back in the day." I'm telling you, that's what the shit we talk about, man.
Well, and we all have those stories from youth sports. That's the great part about youth sports. Everyone's got kind of like those memories, those games where you kind of you come out victorious on the other end, and it's really, those are great.
Can be is talking about not letting Neo off the hook with it, withholding information.
Yeah, well, his body language told me everything I need to know. Tomorrow's video is Neo said Fanatics Fest canceled, everybody was fired. That's tomorrow's video.
Talk, damn it.
Yeah. All your Fanatics dudes are going to be like, what the hell are you doing out here? I don't know why they would have Southern accents, but I just threw that.
Rip and List asks, is this live? It wouldn't be a live stream if he didn't ask if this was live.
I know. Rip and List always coming in.
There it is.
What's up, Junkyard Dog? What's going on? Yeah. Next year's kind of wide open. We'll see what happens.
So Chantilly's not till April, so I'll probably have to plan something to get up with my friend before that. I mean, considering he's in Chantilly, it's only a couple hours away.
Chad, I'll throw this out there since we all make content except for Steve occasionally and Ham. But
my bad.
What are sports card hobby topics that you like watching videos on, or don't like watching videos on, or more of what you would like to see? Throw that out there, kind of like a little chat survey. If anyone wants to throw anything in,
that must mean Dustin doesn't have any video ideas for next week.
Yeah, No, I can create a title out of. I mean, all I need is just a little. I just need
And
a
then
little.
you insert it into Chat GPT, and there you go.
Yeah.
I should probably. I could. Yeah, I should probably use that.
Yeah, because
Well,
the
now
8-minute video, 6 of it will be ad reads, so it only needs to fill 2 minutes worth of actual content.
I could do 3.
You
a
say
day.
Jeff Wilson like 4 times and
Jeff,
done. Video done.
saying Jeff Wilson in different accents for 8 minutes. Breaks and duck races. That's going to be the next frontier.
Wow, the upside down repack. We're getting it ready. Launch of Stranger Things season 5.
Yeah, I almost need to do a controversial. I feel like we should do a controversial repack to get those reaction videos.
Oh, there's Trike.
Don't worry, Zach. Don't worry, Zach.
The video on the buying of subs and followers.
I haven't seen Trike in the chat.
Is people still
What's
doing that?
up, Trike? What's going on, dude? Hope Trike
What's
is
the
doing
use
good.
in doing that right now when things are slow as they are?
Yeah, what was the one you posted the other day? Was it Cajun?
I can't figure out how people are doubling subs in 30 days. I can't figure out. And I know like Sports Card, I don't know if it was Jeff or one of the people at Sports Card Investor Channel responded like a short can do that. And I understand like how shorts work and I understand the conversion and all that stuff.
I have your answer.
The numbers they just don't add up. Like, because you can see on Social Blade, you can see the views versus the.
Well, it's even worse when you know the content's not that good and shouldn't deliver that type of result.
Here's the thing, guys. Here's the answer. You're welcome. Okay. I stopped doing videos. Everybody has flocked over to other channels and subscribed, right? I was eating up all the subscriptions.
That's it. That explains
it. There it is.
One prostitute and boom. Done.
Yeah,
They're
Alex,
like
Alex, I appreciate you
Drop the
coming
mic.
in. First off, I need to thank Alex for always being in the chat every day, no matter what the topic is, no matter what I'm talking about. Alex will jump in there and say something like add a comment, and so I appreciate that. I know that it can get. I'm sure I know that it can get redundant. I understand it, so I appreciate it. I don't understand this. Cool sets, not vintage like early 2000. Don't see none on, but collecting that stuff. Okay.
That's what he wants a video on, probably.
Oh. Cool sets.
You asked the chat a question and they gave you an answer.
I can't
did
believe
this.
So 28 minutes.
What is this? Is this what you want?
I mean,
someone's answering it?
Literally what you asked for.
You're going to have to go back some videos, but I mean, I did lots of videos of stuff that I was buying and grading that came from late.
But nobody
90s.
goes back and watches videos.
Well, why did it come out? I can't keep doing the same video.
I know, but
over and
it's
over.
kind of funny because if people only view this type of content as it's happening, nobody goes to even a channel that they newly subscribed to and go back and see, hey, what did I might be interested in?
Okay,
that's a very big deal that people should do.
So like Trike does really good vlog videos, and there's a lot of like Roth and all these guys that do really good vlog videos. What if I put my own spin on that, where it's kind of more like an MTV Cribs, where it's like a vlog in my house, just different parts of my house,
like mine,
like yours, basically, Steve.
like mine that I used to do.
He's already given you the footprint, Dustin.
When you left, there's an empty gap of MTV Cribs / sports card videos.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like he was talking about sets from the 2000s, but I talked about like lots of sets in the late 90s, like 98, 99 of stuff I was buying and grading, and I was talking about the odds that it took to pull some of those cards from packs, and how a lot of people don't know how some of this stuff is actually as rare as it is. Like these are 1 in 700 packs, and people don't even realize it, and things like that. But I don't know if my videos are actually titled to find that type of stuff, because really my videos, my videos were just kind of like my daily life in the hobby. So they were just kind of like,
well, if you tag the right, if you go back into the video and then just tag the right, keywords into the,
that sounds like a lot of work.
It's not, no, it's not a lot of work.
Ham, why don't you be my editor?
Okay. Give me your password.
Yeah, you don't have any. You won't be editing anything for a little while. What happens in Prague, right?
Prague prostitute. Everyone.
But it was live.
Guys, they're suppressing me right here. They're suppressing. I'm not in the search. I'm getting suppressed.
Hey,
Steve's video editor is the easiest.
The live stream when I was in Prague, I didn't. That's the only live stream recently that I didn't actually stream to my own channel.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't have. I was only on my phone, right? So I didn't have time to set it all up, and I was live out there in the square.
I never even figured out how to set it up.
But I'm saying I'm surprised one of you guys didn't clickbait the hell out of that with some sort of like hooker prostitute something, because
Well, we can go back and pull
Lord,
it and turn it into
that
a
would have been
short.
your first viral video.
Well, that's tomorrow's video then, I guess.
And
I
it
gotta
wouldn't
come
even have
back
been considered clickbait because it would have been somewhat true.
And it's good because I know where to find it. It's just right at the end of the stream where you had to hang up quickly.
Yeah, right.
Well, it would have been better if you would have said,
When I
"Hey,
was
babe,
walking back
you
to the
interested in
apartment.
this PSA 9 Jordan I got right here."
Man, that was something. That was something.
Prostitutes and cards.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm pulling
what?
that clip.
What?
Steve, make sure you watch tomorrow's video. That clip is going to be in there.
Okay.
I'm pulling it. Cavs win again. So now Neo can talk. They're
Set a record.
They're 9-0 now.
9-0.
And what? Craig Elo back on the Cavs? What the hell's going on here?
Shoot, we got Price, we got Doherty. We're bringing
Yeah,
the band
Brad
back
Doherty's
together.
back. Brad Doherty's back.
Okay.
We got
Mark
Price,
Price.
Doherty, and LeBron all in the same squad.
Craig Elo.
Man, Mark Price was a beast.
Could you imagine Price in the modern era NBA with the 3-point shooting?
Yeah, he'd be all right. He'd be all right.
Oh, what are you talking about? Those guys would have been way better than half these guys.
Yeah, I think that Mark Price could compete.
Even the guys that were like subpar back then would be elite today.
So many card channels pimping their wives. Who's pimping their wife?
What are you talking about? There's just one guy that pimps his wife.
Really?
Man, I got to start
The
watching
picture of
content.
her on the front is the prettiest picture of her because she never looks like that in any of the videos.
Oh,
Really?
damn.
Talking
Ham.
about
Yes. I don't know.
Pick
Ham
up-
just dropped
what
it.
channel
I don't
is
know what
that?
it's talking about.
Good Lord.
Don't
Bazooka.
get me started on some of this crap.
Friggin' fired off a bazooka at this guy.
Hold
what
on,
channel is
coming
it? You got to name
Coming
names
from
now.
the man who, coming from the
Ham's
guy
like-
who got the lady from table whatever at the national in his video.
Hey,
Coming from,
She just did a really nice Halloween
Yeah.
thing
you got
as
a lot of
Vampirella.
real talk.
100%. She did a great job.
I told you, Ham. I said you put her in your thumbnail. You straight selling out. He did it anyway.
I did it twice because you told me not to, so I went right back in.
Oh my goodness.
I can't wait to see her at the National.
She gonna remember you? Or are you just one of the many?
Probably one of the many. I mean, she has a lot of followers on her
She's one of
Instagram.
the few. You're one of the few. She's one of the many.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
getting
man.
to that point, Grim, where like people don't care about cards anymore. So you got to start like it's sex sells. Like you got to get something else in there
I
to bring
mean,
them in.
look at Pimp Daddy Z with his girls.
Look,
You
man,
know,
look.
they're actually doing really well.
I was picking
I have
my
no
dog
idea
out.
what
What are you
you're
talking about?
I have no idea
I-
what you're talking about. What's Pimp Daddy Z?
I
I
didn't want to say the Z name on the show because it might appear it's like rubbing a lamp.
I made Daisy a character
Oh,
on my
oh,
channel and I
okay,
doubled
there
my
you go.
subscription.
Big doofus. Okay, got it.
Well, listen, your name for the genie is different than mine, but one way or
Oh
another.
my God, what a
No,
quack.
Graham, you can't say it out loud. This is
More
like
people more people were watching me for Daisy than
Oh
for
my
me.
The guy buying girls to open cards.
Hey,
for him.
Daisy, come here.
No,
Say hi to
they've
everybody.
done a
Come
good
on, I
job
haven't seen
over
you in
there
a
with what
while.
they're doing.
Come here. She won't come. Look, she's looking at me. Come here. I'm like, everybody hasn't seen you in a while, man. They want to see you. Come on. You want to make sure you're okay. They ask all the time. Come on. You can do it. I promise.
Come on, girl.
She's like,
Did you watch? I saw Chat just commented on it. Did you watch the Jeff Wilson whatnot
Come on.
interview yet, Dustin?
I
I
have
just assumed that was.
She's
rereacting.
tired. I took her walking today.
Steve's over here in his own world talking to Daisy. Okay.
It was 80 degrees out today, man. Like she went nature trail walking with me. You know what we've been doing like 3 times a week? Well, you're not familiar with the coastline in Delaware, but we jog from one beach to another on the sand. She goes with me. She goes with me, man. And when we get back, she's toast, man. She'll be passed out in the back of the car on the way home. She wants somebody to scratch her belly. Look.
Oh my God. That's a fun.
Pathetic. Come on. Stop being pathetic and
Put
get
that
up
on your
here.
YouTube thumbnail every week. You'll do great.
I know, right? Well, there she is, guys, in the live stream who've been asking to see her. She's doing just fine.
Steve likes Allen and Ginter, right? You guys,
Yes.
or does anybody else? I'm not really. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. The only Allen and Ginter card I've got is the
I like
Breeze.
the autos.
The Breeze.
I mean,
auto.
That's lineup cards, Allen and Ginter.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
So for Allen and Ginter, I'd like to do the autographs. Like if the person has autographs and all the products, it's not special. The thing about Allen and Ginter is they tend to do some autographs of people that don't sign in any other set, which is really cool.
What if
And
I
they're always like on
Rich,
guard.
Dustin can barely pull a comment up on the screen. Now you want him to pull photos of cards?
what happened to Ham? First off,
I
secondly,
know. I was waiting for Ham to pull a photo
I don't know.
of me in my Thanos outfit. So Neo, did you see my Thanos outfit from
should I do like a video once a week where I'm just
Oh.
in my Alf suit and then I don't say a word throughout the entire video and I just put cards up silent and then like another card, just like put cards up and that's it. That's the entire video. Well, I'd have to read off the ad, but then after that, it would be just cards.
Read the ad while you're doing that.
It's just me
Just
reading.
do the whole video as ads, and then during it, you're just holding up random cards. They're like, all right, guys, like, comment, subscribe, peace, and then just shut the stream off with no actual like real words. It's just all ad reads, and then you holding up random cards.
Watch that, like, and then all of a sudden I've got 100,000 subs, and there's copycat channels that are just doing the same thing just to get the algo. That would be
Trader
hilarious.
Griff says Ham is FaceTiming with the lady from the National.
Yeah, Ham had to jump to talk to that lady friend.
Maybe someone put a hit out on him because he was talking trash about someone else's YouTube thumbnails.
Oh, yeah, but I was
got popped off right there.
so last Tuesday we had the Halloween party at my house and it was themed Villains Night Out this year. So I was Thanos. You guys may have seen a picture because Ham took a picture and actually made it into a card. You know, like he likes to do. I was going to have him show it or pull it up on the screen so people could see my Thanos outfit, but he's gone.
I actually have a good idea now for this. I'm going to do something weird around this, Munson. I'm going to do something kind of strange and see how it goes. I'm going to do something really weird and see how it does. Yeah, every time though, I think it's going to be like, oh, here's something different or whatever. It doesn't. Oh, there we go. Ham survived.
Ham is back.
Yeah, we'll try it out. You okay, Ham? Did she not?
Yeah.
Answer? Did she
No,
not?
my internet crapped out.
Okay.
You got the crap part right. Ham had to take a poop.
I don't poop that fast, buddy. I take my time.
I was going to say that was pretty quick.
Those were the days when guys were beating each other up for cards in the Target. Man.
Well, did you see the Pokemon short that's been going around where they were ripping the Costco thing apart?
Oh yeah. I just don't. God,
I don't get the Costco thing with people buying the whole pallet.
Yeah, because they're like $35 and they're selling for like $80 online.
I get it, I guess, but I don't have the. It doesn't allure me to try to buy it.
Just nothing but ads. Right. I might do that.
That would be a good April Fool's video or something.
Yeah, that would be really funny. Well, it would, but yeah. Okay. Over the holidays, I'm just going to do some random weird things, and we'll see how it goes.
You guys doing anything special for the holidays? I guess we have more live streams before the holidays, but
we have barely November. I have no idea.
So with
Thanksgiving feels like a week and a half.
Yeah, but Thanksgiving's on a Thursday. That means we stream on Wednesday. Are you guys traveling or anything?
I'm going to be traveling, so we might have to push.
I assume we're probably not streaming that week.
Yeah, I think we should push to the following.
I work Thanksgiving. It's no big deal for me. It's just another day.
Our next show. No, it's not. Our next show's not Thanksgiving. It'd be the 20th.
Oh no. Well, the 20th is
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No. I was just curious.
All right. Well, yeah, I can pull that off. The 20th. That should be good.
So it should be good, folks. Yeah, it'd be the 20th. The 27th would be
the Wednesday. Christmas is on a Wednesday. We could do a Christmas night off.
Yeah, actually, Christmas Eve actually falls on my day off this year, and so does Christmas Day. Or Christmas Day, I get off.
Christmas morning, we'll all open up a present together on the live stream.
Oh, wait, I thought Christmas Day was on Wednesday.
I'll be in my onesie.
I literally just said Christmas Day.
Christmas Eve is Tuesday.
Okay. Yes, Christmas Eve comes before Christmas Day. Correct.
Steve is just in his own world over here.
No, normally the casino. I work at a casino that closes for Christmas, so normally I have that day off, and it just becomes like a 3-day weekend. But this year, Christmas actually falls on my day off, so I'm already off anyway. So I get to bank. So I just basically get to take any other day off the rest of the year because they'll owe it to me. So
we should go on Temu and buy matching outfits and then go live in the morning and like open up some cards as a present.
I'm not doing any outfits with you guys anymore. You left me hanging on the Halloween episode. I came on here, Mr.
You didn't.
So I was straight. Come on here, strip-a-gramming, and you guys were just sitting here in your casual clothes.
I had no idea we were doing like a dress up. No one said anything.
Teresa,
What'd you do for Halloween?
Teresa got the message. She sent this to me for her outfit. This was her outfit for Halloween. That's
Look at you, Am.
That's the girl from the booth.
Don't get us demonetized.
That's not demonetized. That's fully clothed.
Is
that Vampirella? It kind of looked like Vampirella. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like.
She was doing an event.
Maybe we'll do a call-in show, sports card radio style. We'll do a little call-in.
Ham's got his thumbnail for his next video.
Hold on, let me get a picture. Let me get a
trouble. Someone
card collecting, trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
I almost feel like
her and a picture of you, Steve.
John Reckoning's been getting on SCR. I feel like it's time. We should probably have John Reckoning on for a couple minutes.
Like going on live? Is he? Oh man, I need to.
I mean, not today, but you know,
he's been going on SCR.
Yeah, he got on a couple of times.
They need to advertise that. I'd watch it.
So would I. Which version of him?
I'd watch for him. I mean, I don't just randomly watch their videos because they're so long, and I don't know what they're having on there.
Yeah, the streams are really long. Yeah,
but if they were just like, we're having Reckoning on tonight, I'd be like, oh man,
I had it on the background. I was working, had it on the background, and then all of a sudden, John Reckoning's on the damn thing, going off about Michael Jackson. I was like, what the hell? It was incredible.
Was that tonight?
No, it was on SCR last week, I think, or the week. But
I gotta go back.
I don't really watch them much anymore.
I work, and unless I feel like it's worth going back to watch.
Well, that's so long, and to get any context out of it, it's like 5 minutes of real anything ever talked about.
Mr. Manos is the Riddler or something. I don't understand this, man. Is this a riddle?
Watching Dustin CCC.
Steve and I didn't make the list. I don't know.
Missing. What do you think it is? It's a riddle.
It is a freaking riddle.
Come on, Batman. Figure it out.
Your lives would be November 20th, 4th, 18th, and New Year's Day.
I like how our audience knows our schedule better than we do.
Oh, they don't know us then.
Is that? Oh, our lives. Okay, I got you. Our lives. I thought you were talking about my life. Like, what's going to happen on my life December 4th that I don't know about?
Yeah, you're already locked in, Steve.
Oh, okay, I get it. That's our lives. I thought he said our lives as in our
well,
life.
According to chat, I just need to bring my wife on to boost subs.
Are you scared for a second?
I just have to bring my wife on more often. That's
probably.
Really she's
a
babe.
You have to start with
she's a babe.
Start with Spritzel.
Well, that's my mistress.
Spritzel. And Spritzels will get you a little bit of growth. You build that growth, and then when Spritzels plateaus, then you have to have different. If you go straight to the top seller, you got to capitalize in tiers.
Right? Yeah, I'm not bringing out the big guns right away.
You go with the light ammo.
Hey, when it gets really bad, that's when I bring my wife out.
You're not at desperation station yet.
The smoke stove.
That's when you know the hobby's dead.
If I've got my wife on every show, then
Dustin's rolling out his wife and his dog, and then kids flag football highlights. That's when
it's like an 8-minute video, 4 minutes of ads, and 2 minutes of my wife talking about the new card release, and then 2 minutes of me just like crying about my channel, and then
we're already in danger zone territory when he's doing flag football highlights. He's already busted that out. The
Are you going to get elected into the football or the content creator Hall of Fame this year?
Oh, I'll do a vote. I'll do a vote for it. Yeah.
Are you going to? But you're not going to win hobby president.
No,
that's going to Mangini.
Yeah, him and his cronies have been voting for him like for months. He's been every video is like, vote for me. He's gotten the vote out, man. He's gotten the vote out.
Props to him. Gotta get the turnout.
He's turned the vote. He has turned the vote out. Vintage Card Shack is like second place with like 1 billion votes. I don't know how that happened, but Vintage
shouldn't be possible. That's rigged.
He's crushing.
Who's Alex? Someone says Mangini and Alex will be the winners.
I don't know. I don't know who Alex is.
That's the first female in that thumbnail on
Yeah.
SDRs.
From what is this on MLB Network or something? Or
No, she was originally on the Golden Touch, the first series.
oh yeah, that's right.
It's Alex.
Golden Touch. What's that? That's an illegal dice move.
I don't know how to say her name. Alex.
Not on Netflix.
Gamero.
What's on Netflix?
It's a weird last name. She lives in New York. She was on SCR during
It's an Italian last name.
The show the Fanatics did in New York. She was on there a little bit hammered.
She likes
Golden Touch.
This is better of a midlife crisis, pro Benny, than buying a motorcycle or there's worse things than getting into cards and collectibles for sure.
The Golden Touch is a dice throwing method that people try to practice in order to try to beat the craps table at a casino. That's what I know the Golden Touch is.
Is that like what's the term golden shower mean?
Well, you just were showing us pictures of the lady from the National.
Yeah, that's what you pay for special.
Well, I mean, you were in Prague and you got all these fancy names now, so
Prague.
The second you said that, the monetization sign went off.
Stefan.
No, I could say something in a different language that can get anything demonetized.
All right, Ham, you're trying really hard to get.
Well, it's time to wrap up.
Yeah, I think we're at hour 35. I think we're way past our bedtime.
The time is flying by.
Yeah, that's gonna be no. The death of is basically like me and Neo's video title always starts with those words every day. The death of fill in the blank.
We're good. This is going to zero.
Yeah. Going to zero, fill in the blank. But then we'll talk about. Well, then we'll give you like kind of a mixed take. So there you go. But the only way to bring you guys in is to say something crazy.
There you go.
Or crazy, stupid, or completely wrong.
Yeah. Are we all stupid? That's another one of my titles.
Yes. We collect cards.
I just say yes and scroll.
Oh, Dustin makes his video. He has like random roll tables. He just rolls on. He just rolls a 6-sided die, and it's like, this is stupid. Okay, that's the title. Which face are we using? He rolls the dice. Oh, okay, we're doing the shock face. And then he rolls another one for what sport he's talking about or whatever. Oh, wait, hobby content creator. Okay, we got to do a content creator. We're all stupid. It's about football and it's about a hobby content creator. That's how Dustin builds his videos.
Formulas, man. Formulas. I'm all about
like a slot machine. You got each reel pops up with a different thing. You choose. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We got it.
Where I get people to is the quotation marks. So like I quit collecting sports cards in quotation marks because I'm quoting somebody that said that. And then I'm talking about that. People are like, this is not what I clicked here for.
Yeah.
Like just going absolutely ballistic.
Yeah, because your audience knows you never actually collected anything, so you can't quit what you never started.
They're so upset with me about not being a collector of anything. They're so upset.
Let me know when you want ultimate clickbait. I got something for you.
Ham, like tonight, you really opened my eyes to all the different things that you've got for me. So I'm just gonna probably pass, but yeah.
There's no females involved.
Oh wait, what is this? I would love to hear much more in-depth history of the people that are on these three. Sadly, Mr. Manos, actually, you know what? My buddy Ryan, that was just in the chat earlier, History Through Cardboard. If you want to know about the history of all this stuff, History Through Cardboard, let me make sure I've got it right. Hold on. Sit tight.
That or even go back through some of Ryan breakout card stuff.
Yeah, I mean, history through, is it cards or cardboard? Dang it, now it's giving me like...
Ryan was in the chat earlier, wasn't
he? Yeah. No, not sports. History through cards - shortcut. Actually, hold on, let me...
Literally says dash shortcut.
I know. I don't know why.
Or you're just reading the whole text across the HTML.
Hold on. I have to shout out my buddy here because he's got, if you really want historical stuff, then let me just do this real quick. All right.
There's nothing about real quick you and YouTube.
It's right here. This.
There it is.
Go through this. The life and career.
There it is.
I mean, and then right here, if you want to read about it, he's an excellent writer. Ryan, check him out. But that is like, if you're serious about historical stuff related to the hobby, there's not a better channel than that one. Not a better channel. William, don't you dare try jumping. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Yeah, if I put that in the title, it's all the I get a swarm of friends. Star cards, man. That's one way to get all the Jordan folks all get fired up.
How's that Jordan Star card doing these days?
Just keeping me warm at night.
Oh no, not yours. Not yours personally. Just the card
Okay.
in general.
It's come down since the like summer highs, but it's still, still in good shape.
Yeah, that's not like a Mad Libs chart. Blank is ruining blank. I quit blank.
Hey, yours are not that different, man. I hate to say it, but yours are kind of the same.
I don't catch as much flack as you do.
That's true.
Well, it's because you're, yeah. I won't say.
Neo, you stay behind camera more, where he puts himself out there.
Yeah, I was
So
gonna say.
He gets a lot more darts thrown at him because of that.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, Brendan can vouch for that. History through cards. Check that out. There's no chicks on that guy's channel. I'm not clicking. There's one comic book YouTuber that puts like a hot babe on all of the thumbnails, but there's never a girl
in it. Yeah.
There's never one. It's just him talking about like about comic books, but every single. All right, guys. I think it's time. I think we've done some good work here tonight. So thank you to the chat, everybody that showed up. We appreciate you so much. We will be back in 2 weeks leading up to Thanksgiving. Excited for it. And we will be back. We'll know who the hobby president is at that point, so we can talk all about it. I think it's John Mangini, but we'll talk all about that on the next.
When's the vote go final?
I think it already did. I think SCR is
Tomorrow
doing
night on their live stream. I'm guessing.
Yeah, they're doing
They're still tallying the absentee votes.
It's gonna take a while to get all those mail-in ballots done.
Okay.
But yeah.
I voted ahead of time. I voted like last week at the fire.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
All right, guys. See you next time. Thanks.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Later.